Hello everyone! In this video, we will be presenting about Chapter 13, Nanotechnology. So the key topics discussed in this presentation are what is nanotechnology, nanotechnology of the past, nanotechnology in the Philippines, and major applications of nanotechnology.
What is nanotechnology? The prefix nano is a unit of measurements of length. It is a Greek prefix meaning dwarf. Nanoscale or nanoscopic scale is a measurement of size in nanometers, approximately 1 to 100 nanometers. Technology is the making, usage, and knowledge of tools, machines, and techniques in order to solve a problem or perform a specific function. Nanotechnology is the study and manipulation of matter at a scale of about 1 to 100 nanometers. It involves the characterization, design, and production of structures, devices, and systems with unique properties by fine-tuning the physical, chemical, mechanical, and optical properties of materials at the nanoscale, according to the Department of Science and Technology in 2015. Nanotechnology involves two conditions. First, the concern of using structures and their manipulation at the nanometer scale, and the second, the concern of small things and taking advantage of their properties at the nanoscale. Nanoscience and nanotechnology are the study and application of extremely small things that can be used across all other science fields such as chemistry, biology, physics, material science, and engineering. It is a science, engineering, and technology conducted at the nanoscale as defined by the National Nanotechnology Initiative. The first ever concept was presented in 1959 by the famous professor of physics, Dr. Richard P. Feynman. Invention of the scanning tunneling microscope in 1981 and the discovery of fluorescence in 1985 led to the emergence of nanotechnology. The term nanotechnology had been coined by Norio Taniguchi in 1974.
The historical background of nanotechnology. Nanotechnology in the past. Using advanced technologies, scientists today discovered the practice of nanotechnology even before this term was introduced. In ancient Egyptians, example of nanotechnology is fermentation process at the nano level. The meaning of this is in making bread, wine, cheese, and other foodstuffs. In ancient Rome, the example of their works is Lycurgus cup, and it contains nanoparticles of silver alloy with 50 to 100 nanometers in diameter, as revealed through the use of the transmission electron microscope and X-ray analysis in 1990. It is a British heritage with unusual optical properties. It changes colors depending on the lighting condition. It appears green in a direct light and red if illuminated from within. In Middle Ages, the example of their work is the stained glass windows of the late medieval church. These windows contain silver and gold particles. Their fusion in the glass produced luminous red and yellow colors. Nanoparticles in the past. Glowing, glittering ceramic glazes in 9th to 17th centuries. It is used in the Islamic world in the later in Europe. The glazes contain silver or copper or other nanoparticles. Renaissance pottery in 16th centuries, created by Italians employing nanoparticles. Damascus saber blades, cementite, nanowares, and carbon nanotubes in 13th to 18th centuries, produced and used to provide strength, resilience, and the ability to hold a keen edge. Colloidal suspension of gold, studied by Michael Faraday. He is demonstrate the colored solution produced by gold nanoparticles under certain lighting conditions. The nanotechnology in a modern era. Nanotechnology has progressed since the early ideas of Feynman until the invention of a new type of microscope in 1981 that enables the viewing of nanoparticles. According to Baida et al., in 2020, the following relates the progress of the nanotechnology of the modern era as shown in the timeline. And here is the timeline of the nanotechnology in the modern era. In 1981, scanning tunneling microscope. In 1983, STM image of silicon. And 1985, Polarness or buckyballs. 1986, automatic force microscope and scanning probes microscope. In 1990, IBM logo, and in 1991, hollow graphite tubes or carbon nanotubers. In 2004, carbon dots or seed dots.
Nanotechnology in the Philippines. With the promising benefits offered by nanotechnology, the Nano Lab, which is one of the few nanotechnology research labs in the Philippines, was opened to the public on July 1, 2015. Nano Lab is a project of the Department of Science and Technology, Industrial Technology Development Institute, or DOST-ITDI, that provides R&D opportunities and technical services to local industries through world-class equipment and devices. As nanotechnology deals with matter at the nanoscale, sophisticated technologies are required to carry out the objectives of the program of nanotechnology. Let's take a look at the nanotech facilities and equipment in the Philippines as presented by Dr. Blessy E. Basilia of the Department of Science and Technology, Industrial Technology Development Institute. What facilities and equipment for nanotechnology researches do we have in the Philippines? Where can we find them? Study the image in the next slide. Nanotechnology facilities and equipment in the Philippines. Scanning electron microscope or SEM, transmission electron microscope or TEM, atomic force microscope or EFM, molecular beam epitaxy, X-ray diffraction, FTIR, optical emission characterization, nanoparticle size analyzer, surface area analyzer. The Department of Science and Technology, or DOST, of the Philippines, with an interdisciplinary group consisting of 14 local scientists, crafted the Nanotechnology Roadmap of the Philippines in 2008. Having crafted this nanotechnology roadmap, nanotechnology projects have been implemented and supervised by the Department of Science and Technology, Industrial Technology Development Institute, or DOST-ITDI, where the local community is encouraged to depend on the abundant, unexploited, and natural organic or inorganic nanomaterials. The following are the nanotechnology projects being worked out in the Philippines as listed. Number 1. Information and Communication Technology, or ICT and Semiconductors. Use of nanotechnology to ultra-fast ICT with small power consumption. Number 2. Solar cells, sensitized base solar cells, or DSSC, low solar cost cells belonging to the group of thin film solar cells. Number 3. Agriculture. Facilitate gene transformation and expression of animal and plant cells. Number 4. Food. Biodegradable food packaging. And number 5. Environment. Water purification by nano.
Lastly, major environmental applications of nanotechnology. Nanotechnology has been applied in various fields. Presented on the next slide is a list of its application concerning the environment, health and medicine, agriculture, transportation, and space exploration. One of its major environmental applications is water treatment and purification. Using the following nanomembranes purify, desalinate, and detoxify the water. Nanosensors to detect the contaminants and pathogens in the water, nanoporous zeolites, nanoporous polymers, and attapulgite clays to purify the water, magnetic nanoparticles to treat and remediate the water, and TiO2 nanoparticles to catalyze the degradation of pollutants. Number 2, environmental remediation. Contaminants and pollutants are removed from the contaminated soil, groundwater, and the surface water using zero-valent iron nanoparticles for obtainment of environmental pollutants, nanoscale iron particles. Number 3, minimize the generation of pollution. Green nanocomposites are eco-friendly materials used to minimize the generation of pollution. Starch-based nanocomposites, cellulose-based nanocomposites, and protein-based nanocomposites. Other nanotechnology applications. In the field, health and medicine. Nanomedicine, an application of nanotechnology in the fields of health and medicine, uses nanomaterials and nanoelectronic biosensors for early detection and prevention, improved diagnosis, proper treatment, and follow-up of diseases. Applications of nanosystem in cancer therapy. Examples and description. Carbon nanotubes to develop advanced biosensors, magnetic nanoparticles to isolate and group stem cells, quantum dots for molecular imaging and tracing of stem cells for delivery of genes and drugs to stem cells, nanoparticles for site-specific drug delivery, carbon nanotube to detect DNA mutation and disease protein biomarker, dendrimers useful for controlled drug delivery and as image contrast agents, nanocrystals to improve formulation for poorly soluble drugs, labeling of breast cancer marker, HER2 surface of cancer cells, nanoparticles used in magnetic resonance imaging and ultrasound image contrast agents, nanoshells for tumor-specific imaging, nanowires for detection of disease protein biomarker, DNA mutation, and gene expression. Number 2, we have agriculture. The integration of nanoparticles in feeds and fertilizers. Nanomaterials in livestock feed act as mineral supplements. Zinc oxide nanoparticles in fertilizers affecting plant growth and development. Ingredients and processing. Adding nanoparticles directly to food and food processing. Nanotitanium dioxide as food additives to make food appear brighter. Titanium dioxide in chewing gum is more than 93% in nanoparticle form. Food packaging. Nanotechnology enhances food, packs, barrier, and heat resistance. Functions improves biodegradability. Creation of smart packaging that notify consumers of microbial contamination by changing its color and can repair itself when it ripped during transport. And we also have nutritional supplements. Nanoparticle ingredients called nanoceuticals in many nutritional supplements products. Nanotechnology in plant nutrition, pest control, water contaminant detection, and soil remediation. Nanofertilizers are used to minimize the losses of mobile nutrients. Nanopesticides are used to control and manage pests. Nanobiosensors are used to detect water contaminants, such as nitrate, nitrate, and ureas from urea. Nanomaterials for soil remediation to remove the pollutants from contaminated soil. And number 3, we have transportation, automobile industry, nanocomposite-based effective anti-corrosive coating, embedded nanoparticles like SiO2 in ultraviolet, curable lacquers to improve abrasion resistance, nanofilters for air cleaning. Number 4, space exploration, robotics, miniaturization in space, micro and nanotechnologies to increase the capabilities of space robotics for further missions. So that's it guys, thank you for watching and I hope you learned something. Bye!